like me better when I'm with you. I like me better when I'm with you.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shante Outlaw, in case you didn't know. Alright, y'all, so I got a story time for y'all today. And I'm gonna title this, as you can tell, Bad Roommate Experiences. Like, I don't know what's been the deal with me in my life, but I done had some bad roommates. So I'm gonna tell y'all all about it, right? So college. I don't know about y'all, but like my expectations were set pretty high for college. You know, I was excited to have a roommate. Zoe 101 made that joint look like it was popping or whatever, live in the dorms. So no, I'm half kidding, but like I'm low-key serious. I was excited to have a roommate. You know, I'm like, we about to be best friends. We gonna be in this joint. We gonna be living lavish, you know? That's what I thought. I had a roommate, and her name was D. So, you know, first day on campus, we meet up. Actually, we had met before campus. Before like, we had met during that summer. We found out we was gonna be roommates, so we met. And it was like, it was, you know, just a regular type of thing, you know. It wasn't like a click right at the beginning, you know, type of thing. It was just like, oh, okay, maybe we'll grow, you know, into that. So, first day on campus, they had like a big gathering, like a for lack of a better word, I'm gonna say back to school event, right? So they had this big like carnival type thing, and you know it's supposed to be you mingle and get to know people and everything. So me and D, we was talking, we was like, all right, you know what? We might as well go together. You know, let's consider this bonding time or whatever. So you're like, yeah, all right. So we stop at the store real fast, and then we're like, all right, let's go to this event. We get there and I don't know what happened. Like, I literally, I don't know what happened, but she just disappeared. Like, just left me hanging. Like, I'm like, I don't know nobody here. Like, cause nobody from my school went to my, nobody from my high school went to my college. So it was like starting over, like fresh. Only person I knew was my roommate because we had met during the summer. So I'm like, yeah, you know, we about to go and do this. We in this together. And then she just ditched me. And I was like, oh, okay, so on my own. The vibe between us, it wasn't like we didn't instantly hit it off like I said, but like it was just like, I don't know, it was just cool. Like every now and then we would talk with each other, but like we didn't really hang out too much, say too much. It was just like, you here, I'm here, we share in this room, so you know we might as well talk to each other. But it was like, and let me just be clear when I say with my roommate, let me be clear what the rooming space was like. It was like living, like sharing a room with your sister. Like, not like, it wasn't like separate doors or separate rooms or nothing. It was just one big room. It wasn't even that big, to be honest. It was just one room with 2 beds in it. No bathroom, no nothing. Like, it's just like sharing a room with your sibling. It's just like, you know, I look across the room and I see you. First week of school, I want to say, yeah, this was like the weekend after the first week of classes, and my roommate, she had a boyfriend back home, and he was coming to visit, spend the weekend with her. I'm like, okay, cool, you know, long distance, I see it, I get it. Y'all, you know, y'all gonna want to have some time. So I'm like, you know, when he got there, I'm like, all right, let me just head out. You know, I ain't about to be third wheeling it. Let me just give y'all some space or whatever, you know, give y'all a couple hours to do what y'all do, you know, if you know what I mean. So I'm like, all right, yeah. I head out for a couple hours, and then I come back, you know, because it's my room. I live here, right? Gotta come back at some point. But when I came back, my roommate, she was upset. And like, she was like bothered because she expected she wanted to have the room to herself to spend time with her boyfriend for the entire weekend, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Like, she expected me to just clear out and be gone and give them their space. And I'm like, first of all, like I said, I live here. This is my room, and it's like the first week of school. I barely know people yet. I'm still trying to get a feel for like what college is about, meeting people and stuff like that. So it's like, where you expect me to go, cuz? So I'm like, I done left, gave y'all some hours because I know y'all want some alone time, but like at the end of the day, this is my room too. And she like, oh well, you know, she had met some girl and became friends with some girl, friends in the first week. She met some girl and she like, so you know, she said you could stay with her at her room. I'm like, I don't know this girl and you just met her and you want me to just go up and leave my room, the comfort of my room, to go hang out with this girl I don't know for the entire weekend so that you guys have time for your boyfriend. I'm like, yeah, nah, I don't feel comfortable doing that. But like I said, you know, I'll leave for a couple hours, give y'all some time, because I get it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to come back to the room. That weekend passed, and it was like, from that moment, I could tell things kind of just got a little, it like shifted a little bit between her and me. Like, you know, it became a little smidge awkward, you know. Not like heavy awkward, but just like, she just felt the way, and it's like I could tell that she felt the way about it. Just the way that she was acting. So, but I'm just like, you know, whatever, it is what it is. I say maybe a week or two go by. Oh, now mind you, in this week or two, we done came up with a roommate contract agreement thing. I think they make you do that. But yeah, so we done had our roommate contract, and basically she was saying that like, whenever we have an issue, a problem, or whatever with one another, she said she didn't like confrontation. So whenever we had an issue or problem, she didn't want to like talk about it face to face, cause like she didn't like that kind of confrontation, I guess. So she was like, if you got an issue, then I think we should text about it. So when, you know, whenever something happened, if I'm bothered by something, I'll text you about it. Then we could talk it out via text. I mean, to each his own, right? So I was like, okay, we can do that, you know. So a week or two passed since then. It's probably like third week of school. And she had invited some people over. Then they decide, you know, it's college. We want to get some experience, so they want to go get like find drinks or something and just like hang out or whatever, because it's college. That's what you do in college. You're like, yeah, let's get drunk or something. And they had invited me to come with them, and I'm like, okay, cool. We end up going to some boy's room. That one of the girls knew this guy, and it was him and his roommate. So we hanging out in M room, and you know, they drinking it. Time go by, and mind you, it's like midweek, so like we got classes tomorrow and everything. So like it's getting late. I say like it's like 11:45 ish. And I'm like, all right, you know, time to call it a night. He like, all right, yeah, we might as well just, you know, head on out. We had fun, call it a night. Now, my roommate, D, she like, she been interacting with the boy, M, and she like, oh no, y'all go ahead, you know, I'm good, I'm cool, I'm gonna stay with M, and we just gonna chill for a little longer. Okay, I'm like, I have no say in that. Like, we not even that cool. We ain't that close. So if that's what she want to do, that's what she want to do. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm out. We all dip. So I get back to the room, and you know, I'm trying to get ready for class tomorrow. I'm like, let me get my rest, you know. And I don't know what it was about this night, but like, just for some reason, I just could not get to sleep. I just like tossed it, turned it. I was just like, oh my goodness, what's happening? But you know, I'm like, I got class tomorrow, so regardless, I'm just gonna lay here until I fall asleep. So then maybe 30 minutes, an hour go by, and then my roommate comes back. So she comes back and you know, flips on the light, start making like, you know, you hear stuff rustling around, making a little bit of noise, which is expected, because I mean, like, I get it, you just came in, I'm gonna give you some time to get settled or whatever. And then next thing I know, like, I hear a man's voice. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, she got company. Oh, at 12 something at night, she brought company back when I have class. Oh, how nice. So, you know, but I'm like, all right, she done brought company. You know, who am I to say she can't have company? As long as she, you know, keep it respectable. You know, I'm like, I'm just mind my business. I'm going to sleep and do what I do. So she come in, they turn the TV on, It's a TV on. So now I ain't going. I'm be honest with y'all. I'm the type of person that like I can't sleep with light or sound. Light and sound bothers me when I sleep. But you know, like I said, it's her room too. So like we gotta be fair. And I'm like, well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, let me be fair. You know, it's her room. If she wants to stay up late watching TV, then she can do that, as long as the volume not too loud. You know, so it's like the light. I could roll over and toss the covers over my head and I'll be fine. So I ain't say nothing. I'm like, all right, they chilling, watching TV, watching a movie, and I still can't get to sleep, y'all. After a little while, they decided to get a little freaky. I'm like, oh, it's that type of party. So I'm just like, you know, like I ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all do y'all thing, but at the same time, I was a little bothered because I'm like, you know, you share a room, and you know it's late, and y'all making a lot of noise, right? And it's like I already couldn't sleep. And now it's like, I definitely ain't gonna be able to get to sleep now. Y'all over there doing what y'all do, you know. And I'm like, I got class in the morning. But I ain't saying that. I'm just like, I'm just gonna, you know, try and get through this night. So that's what I did. Got through the night. And the next day, you know, I go to class or whatever. And then like, after I was done on my classes, I'm like, all right, I should probably address this because, you know, when things happen, you should speak up, you know, so we can resolve this, prevent further problems and everything. You know, that's the reasonable thing to do when you have a roommate. So I'm like, all right, let me address this. And like she said, she don't like confrontation. If we have an issue, we should text it out. So I text her, and I'm like, yo, so last night, you old boy kind of kept me up all night. You and old boy kept me up all night, and I couldn't sleep, and I just feel that was, you know, a little disrespectful. You know, it was kind of late, had classes in the morning or whatever. Y'all know what this girl said? She said, it's like, oh, I thought you had your headphones in. That sounded real country. I don't know why it came out like that, but I'm like, really? Like, not I thought you was asleep, we was trying to be quiet. I thought you had your headphones in. Cause, you know, never mind everything else. As long as you got your headphones in, it's all good. And I'm like, no, I did not. I did not have my headphones in. I heard everything. She's like, oh, we talked it out, and like she was feeling the type of way about it, but at the end of the day, we kinda semi-resolved it, and she was just like, oh, you know, we'll work on it. We'll try to figure something out next time. I'm like, okay. So that's where we stood after that. So this is the second time something that came up between us. It was already a little awkward before, and now it's like, now it's really awkward. Like, she ain't speaking to me, and it's just like, if she say something, it's just like, you could just feel vibes that just, I'm like, okay, this is, it's a little uncomfortable because it's like, we roommates at the end of the day, so we gotta see each other. We gotta be around each other. And like I said, it's one room. We share the same room. So it's like now in my living space, it's just gotta be a little tension going on. It was a couple days later. She was going all day. And I'm like, dang, okay. She don't live here no more. She don't want to be here no more. Okay. She do her own thing. But I ain't mind because now I got the space to myself a little bit. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Freedom until she come back. So she was going all day. And then when she finally come back, now mind you, I told you we ain't speaking. We ain't saying nothing to each other since the last incident. So she come back, and then she like, first thing she said to me, as soon as she walked in the door, she's like, I'm moving out. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't think you was allowed to do that. I'm thinking in my head, like, I didn't think you was allowed to do that until the next semester, but, you know, I guess, you know, she was just that persistent about it. She didn't figure out a way. She was like, I'm moving out. I'm like, okay. And then she proceeds to start grabbing her things and carrying them out the room. I'm like, oh, you mean now? Like, is that pressing? You're moving out right now because you were bothered that we done had, like, miscommunication, things going on. And she was like, you know, this is it. She just moved out that literal day. So it was like, we didn't even spend that much time together, like as roommates. Maybe a month and a half, I say, if that. Like, and then there's like, after there was 2 issues, she was just real distant, and it was tension going on, and she decided to move out. So I ain't gonna say that was a horrible experience. This is my first roommate ever, but like, you know, it was my first roommate. It was just like, dang, this is like not how I pictured it, and you know, it was a little uncomfortable to have to live in that type of situation. Fast forward to next year. I'm sophomore now. The last week of classes before the semester ends, you pick your roommates or your living situation for the next year. So the end of my freshman year, that's when I would pick where I was living and who I would live with. And I don't know, my friends was all leaving, like transferring schools. So it was like I ain't had nobody to room with. So it was like this group that you can we had a Facebook group so you could try to figure out who you room with if you ain't had nobody to room with. So I'm like scrolling through the list. I'm like, all right, well, let me see if somebody already made a post to and they live at the same building, Linden, that I'm trying to live in. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I found one, and this girl, her name Lynn. Let's say her name Lynn. Lynn, she made a post like a couple of hours earlier. She was like, she was trying to live in Linden Hall. She was looking for a roommate and blah blah blah. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, this seemed like this might work out. You know, so I responded to her post. And I'm like, all right, yeah, no. She told me what floor and stuff she was trying to live on, and I'm like, all right, cool. You know, this works for me. You know, we should talk and see if we'd be a good fit as roommates or whatever. And like, time go by, she never responded. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. She didn't want to room with me. Move on to the next. But when it actually came down to it, the time to pick your roommate, I didn't have nobody to room with, so I just had left it blank. And then when you leave it blank, they'll give you a random person. So I picked the dorm room I want to live in, and they give me a random person. So now it's beginning of my sophomore year in college, and when it's time to find out who my roommate is, it's the girl Lynn. I'm like, why would they give me her? I'm like, I already done reached out to her and tried to be her roommate, and clearly she didn't want to room with me, but the random generator says I'm living with Lynn. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll have a fresh start, you know. Maybe she just didn't respond because of some other reason. You know, you never know. When I meet Lynn, it's just like, yeah, she's just like not with it. It was just like, yeah, no, we ain't gonna be friends at all. Like, the vibe was just like way off. And I'm just like, dang, okay. So I guess she really didn't want to live with me because, you know, it's just like awkward between us. So I'm like, okay, we met. And then like we didn't never exchange numbers. We don't really talk nothing. She come and go as she please. I don't know nothing about what she doing. We don't talk to each other. And yeah, after a couple weeks of living with this girl, I'm noticing that she leaves the TV on at night when she sleeps. And it's like, the first couple of times it happened, it's like, oh, you know, she probably fell asleep, forgot to turn the TV off. It's cool, whatever. Now, mind you, I told y'all, I can't sleep with the lights on or the TV on. Like, that bothers me when I'm trying to sleep. Like, it gotta be pitch dark and silence. But, you know, the first couple of times it happened, I'm like, you know, maybe she fell asleep, forgot to turn it off, you know, so I ain't say nothing. Then, like, she just kept doing it consecutively, nights in a row. And I'm like, oh, she's doing this on purpose. Because I know some people like to sleep with the TV on. I am not that person, but I know some people do. I was like, all right, you know, me trying to be an understanding roommate, trying to keep the peace and not like really have no issues between us. I'm like, all right, well, maybe I can tolerate this, which I shouldn't have done. But I'm like, maybe I can tolerate this. And you know, I was like, all right, well, maybe, like, every night she goes to sleep and she leaves the remote on the dresser. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just mute the TV. Because, like I said about the light, I can just roll over and put the covers over my head and the light won't bother me. But the sound, like, it's nothing I can do about the sound. So I'm like, all right, well, I grabbed the remote, put the TV on mute, and leave it on, because I know some people like to sleep on it. I'm like trying to be respectful or whatever, so I leave it on, and I'm like, I just mute the TV. I'm like, okay, cool. not bad, I could do this. And then like for like the next couple of nights, that's just what I did. Every time she would go to sleep and turn the TV on, leave the TV on, by the time I got back. Cause like I wasn't hardly in my room this semester. So like I would come home late and she was already asleep by the time I got there. So every time I would come on, the TV's on, I would just mute the TV, put the remote back on the dresser, and then, you know, go to sleep, roll over, go to sleep. All right, cool. So no issues, right? One day I come back from, I come back at the end of the night, and come back to the room, and TV's on again. So I'm like, all right, let me go mute the drum. But I was like, you know what? Why am I even doing this at all? Like, I'm like, why? Like, if I'm doing all this to mute the TV, I might as well just turn it off. She already sleep. So I'm like, why? I shouldn't have to suffer through, you know, to listen to it, have to see the light, whatever. So I'm like, I might as well just turn it off instead of just muting it every night. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So, okay, that sounds like a great idea. So I'm like, all right, yeah, let me just turn the TV off. So the next couple of nights, that's what I did. She would fall asleep, leave the remote on the dresser. I would come back, TV on. And I'm like, TV off. Oh, I can sleep. So yeah, I'm like, all right, this is great. We cool. You know, ain't no issue. She need the TV to fall asleep. Whatever. Mind you, we still ain't really talking. Cause like I said, it was just really tense between us. We don't say hi or nothing. Like, we don't talk at all. And, you know, so we just didn't even discuss the situation. It's just like, all right, when I get back, I'm turning the TV off and I'm going to sleep. You already sleep, so it don't matter. One day, I come back and I'm like, all right, you know, let me turn the TV off like I normally do so I can get some sleep. Yeah, I'm about to get some sleep. And the remote wasn't on the dresser. I'm like, the remote always on the dresser. Like, where is the remote? Like, I could not find this joint. I'm looking all over the room for the remote and I can't find it. I'm like, where could this thing be? But turns out she ended up sleeping with the remote and leaves the TV on. Now, like I said, I try to be a respectful and considerate roommate, because this is her living space too, and people like to live a certain way, and you know, I'm not about to, you know, wake her up, and this is how I am. I'm like, she's sleeping and I feel it would be disrespectful for me to wake her up out her sleep just to get the remote so I can turn the TV off. So I'm like, all right, you know, I'll just suffer through. I don't know why I always do that to myself. I'm like, I'll just suffer through it for tonight, and then, you know, tomorrow I'll just turn it off like I've been doing. So next night, the remote not on the dresser again. I'm like, oh, so she purposely sleeping with the remote so that I can't turn the TV off at night. Oh, she thinks she's slick. Okay, sis. But I'm like, we had one of them TVs that was like propped up on the wall. So it was like, it wasn't like I could just reach up and press the button, or at least I couldn't do it because I'm only 5 feet, you know, I'm kind of short. So like, I couldn't really reach it. So, you know, I guess I had to do without. But then, you know, a couple days go by and it's like this, mind you, we still not speaking to each other. We still don't even address it or say nothing about it. So a couple days go by, and then one night I'm just like, no, you know what? I'm not gonna just suffer through this. I want the TV off. She wanted to hide the remote like she do. Whatever, she could do that. I'ma find me a way to turn this TV off. If I got to climb on something, reach over, whatever. So that's what I did. I reached up and found my way to that button, turned the TV off. Now I can sleep. That next day, when she come back into the dorm, she like, okay, so I'm moving out. I was like, what? Like, is that deep to y'all? Like, you bothered because of the TV? First of all, you ain't even say nothing to try to attempt to resolve anything. Like, maybe we could have found a middle ground. But she just like, this like the first thing she'd have said to me the whole semester. Because it's just been awkward. Like, every time I would bring people over or have people in the room, they're like, dang, like, it's just real, like, what's up with y'all? Like, it's real awkward in here. The tension is thick. And so, like, that's like the first thing she said to me. She's just like, I'm moving out. I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know what be people's problem, But I'm like, all right, well, if she want to move out, that's her choice. But she never actually did end up moving out. Like she was trying, but whatever place she was trying to get into, it just kept falling through. But she kept trying, because she kept telling me, yeah, I should be going within a couple of weeks. I'm moving out, and it just never happened. But you know, that was just like a very awkward living situation for me, because like, it's like when you come home, you just want to feel comfort, feel at ease. It's just like, this is supposed to be your safe place, your place of peace. But it was just like the tension in that room that I had to deal with this girl. It was just like, that didn't feel great. That was just a bad experience for me. I'm sure people that had some worse experiences, but you know, these are my bad roommate experiences. For those of you out there that have roommates, my advice to you is just communicate. Like, first and foremost, that's one of the biggest things. Like with my second roommate, Lynn, we didn't communicate. I mean, it was awkward before we even had issues, but we didn't communicate things, and that's what led that situation to be a bad experience for me. And with my first roommate, I mean, we communicated, but I feel like we should have had that conversation in person. Like, I know now that like text message is not the best way to communicate, because things could get misunderstood. There's no tone. You don't like, you need to have conversations face to face for certain things. But you know, those are my roommate experiences, my bad roommate experiences. I hope that, you know, you guys, whoever's living with a roommate, y'all don't have to deal with the things that I dealt with. But like I said, communicate. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to like, and tell me some experiences y'all done had with some roommates, cause I know it be getting real out here. But subscribe and stay tuned.